Fortunate. And so we have a lot to talk about, just a lot to get to. And if you want, hi everybody, welcome
Let's
to
talk
the
about
conversation.
love, health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs, national
Our local
issues.
Bahamians, but also those who are listening around the region and the world this afternoon. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have an audience that really from Europe to the United States, Canada, around right here, who are very interested in just wanting to know the answers and ask the questions that get them the answers that they seek. Before we introduce
need a little inspiration, tune into the conversation. Talk about it on the conversation.
This is the time,
when you need a little
Shenique, when the country really need to find ways to join together to fight common problems that we have. Collaborative leadership.
You need a little conversation. We can go far with the conversation. Hear me, yeah.
Please share the video, share. Tag some people in the live feed, share it in your private Facebook group, share it in your WhatsApp group.
Here with Shenique on the conversation, yeah.
It's a wonderful Wednesday, and it's so good to see all of you already streaming. I'm going to say hello in a minute to everybody. Matter of fact, let me just do that right now. Hello to Elaine. Blair Percenti. Hi to you. Hello to Dominic Oliver. I know Dominic is in Boston. Hi to you, Dominic. Hello to Anne Green. Hi to Estelle Knowles. Hi to Loretta Roberts. Hi. Hello to Gano Davis. How are you, my lady? How are you? Hi, Rochelle Farrington. Hello to Betsy Clare. Hello to Michelle Black. Hi to Christy Miller. Christy is watching from Springs, Texas. Good afternoon to you, Christy. Hi to Ashanti Wilmot Russell. Good afternoon to you. And good afternoon to everybody. As you come in, please do share the live stream. I want you to be very interactive on today's show. In fact, on every show, we have a lot of shows coming up, special interviews, and of course shows, because you guys know it. You Bahamians outside the Bahamas and those in the Bahamas, you know it's the election season. And so a lot special broadcasts, a lot of stuff is going to be happening. A lot of stuff's going to be going on. And we want you to participate in everything. We want you to be streaming live with us and see what's happening, see what's being said. And so we have a lot of special broadcasts coming up. Tomorrow, on Friday, a special one-on-one interview. And just as it comes, as the requests come in, that's how we accommodate those requests. And so certainly, of course, we want you to stay right here, tuned in to the conversation. And as we kind of present to you the views and the thoughts and the mandate, the vision of various political parties and individuals representing political parties. And so certainly, of course, we're very, very happy that you are tuned in today. Good afternoon to everybody. Giselle Bailey, good afternoon to you. And afternoon to everybody. As you come in, please do share the live stream. It's great to have you all streaming live with us today. Thank you very, very much. Let's just jump right in. We have a lot, but before we jump in, I want to give you guys, particularly those of you here in Nassau, perhaps this is for the Bahamas, but here's a severe weather warning. Just coming in just a moment before we went live, the Bahamas Department of Meteorology has issued a severe thunderstorm warning from about an hour or so ago until 4:40. A severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect for Grand Bahama and Andros, along with the adjacent waters. At 2:35, lightning detector, radar, and satellite imagery depicted clusters of showers with embedded thunderstorms moving across the warning areas. Some of these thunderstorms may be strong to severe at times, producing strong gusty winds, dangerous lightning, heavy downpours, hail, and possible waterspout or tornadic activity. Localized flooding is also possible during the passage of these storms. Boaters in the warning area should seek safe harbor, and residents in the warning area should stay indoors and away from windows when conditions worsen. Residents should not seek shelter under trees or in the water, as these can become lightning conductors. Of course, this was issued just moments ago from the Department of Meteorology. And so we hope that you all pay attention to that, okay? And stay indoors. If you don't have to be outdoors, stay indoors. And that's exactly what the warning is. And so once again, thank you all so much for tuning in and joining the conversation today. Really, really awesome to have you all streaming. I am very, very happy to welcome today's panelists. It's a hot topic show, guys. I'm happy to welcome today's panelists, Garth Rosborough and Mandel Miller. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, guys. Are you there? Okay, bring them in. This is Garth Rosborough. Garth, it's great to see you. I see you in white against the white background, so we can barely tell the difference. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I am wonderful. Just here, just enjoying life. As so many people have bowed their heads, we continue to pray for family and friends and loved ones, but it's still a great day to be a Bahamian. Very good day.
It's a great day to be alive. We don't know if Mandel is here. I know that Mandel was in the southern Bahamas. Not sure what's happening with his connection, what's going on there. But Garth, let's just jump right in. Let's go. Let's just jump into this. I don't even want to call it fiasco, because to call it fiasco would be trivializing it. There's nothing trivial about it. The issue with the chairman of the Water and Sewerage Corporation, Adrian Gibson, and the fact that what's come out so far, what it is that we have heard. He did respond in a press statement about a day or two ago. But your thoughts about just the sloppiness of it all, and what's come out in terms of allegedly awarding contracts to family, friends, and loved ones in the person of one person.
I do believe this has been a trend over the past decade or more.
Decades.
It's just sad to know that these cases always tend to turn up right in the heart of political mischief and political season. I'm almost certain that once again we're looking at a situation where those who are not as strong are the ones who are sought after, the ones who are torn asunder. It is a very big misfortune and unfortunate situation. I do believe that we have enveloped a culture of taking care of those that are around us, and I can imagine the immense pressure in so doing. Once you are put in a situation where it seems as if you are able to help and assist those family and friends and those who have done past business partnerships with you, I can imagine the pressure that he may have been under. But in his defense, I would say to him, what a time to have actually had this brought to the forefront. I don't believe
hey, Garth, so you think obviously it's well timed.
It is very well timed. That I am against the spirit of the timing of everything happening. You see, we must hold our leaders more accountable. When these things are being made aware of, why haven't we said something earlier? And so what ends up happening is a cannonball effect where it is now bigger than life itself. And with everyone paying attention to political details, he's being made into a bigger monster than he really may be. I believe that there are more people like himself in government leadership who has done even far worse, but yet their names are not mentioned to this detail.
You know, Garth, you gave a different perspective, because I was all set to have my fangs out and say, oh my God, how dare he? Oh, Adrian, mind you, it's nothing new. And I'm happy you pointed that out as well. It's nothing new. Many people get contracts, whether it's to clean, as I think this contract stipulated, to clean maybe street sidewalks, buildings, properties, etc. People, that happens, right? And I was all ready to come out, but you gave a good perspective to it. You said, you know, the timing of it. If this was going on since 2017, why not, once it was recognized, call it out from then? Why not, instead of saving it to say, gotcha? And so, of course, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right at all. But Garth, how do we move from this point? How do we move from here? Because it's a part of sort of the political play. I imagine not just in the Bahamas, but let's just stay focused on the Bahamas. How do we move from here, though? Where are you crossing the line? Where if Garth, if you are elected and somehow I am connected to you, whether through romance or family, etc., and I'm connected to you and I'm winning. You know, obviously a conflict of interest there. Yeah,
the issue here isn't so much the personality. The persons who practice such, I would say to you, change, the faces change, but the system never changes. It's the system that we have that allows this to take place. We have a very slack system. Even now as we go into the electoral season, we have a certain reverence for people in authority. And so when these people make commands and demands, there is a system that actually feeds into that allows these people to feel comfortable enough to make these allocations take place. The people have said in the past, and I am one of the people who have spoken about transparency, who've spoken about honesty, who've spoken about being upfront. Yet we are the same people that revere such individuals, and we never allow the people who possibly want to really change the system that seat at the table. And so when you ask the question, why would the minister responsible for water and sewage be caught in such a situation? It's not because of who he is, it's because the system that we've allowed to continue, that continues to fertilize such situations. And so we go from his face to another face in Bamboo Town, to another face in Mike Hall, to another face in Grand Bahama, Andros, and it continues to go on because we're focusing on the face when we should be focusing on the system that makes such allowances.
Welcome to the conversation, everybody. Garth, you have a number of people. I tell you that you shocked us all with that perspective, and I'm going to read some comments in a minute from people who kind of agree with you, and also with the perspective that you shared, and like, wow, okay, we didn't look at it that way. Because Garth, I dare say this: were you to be elected, by the way, everybody who is watching today, Garth is a candidate and leader of the People's National Coalition in this election here. So he is a candidate. And so I'll put him on the doggone hot seat. Garth, if you were elected, Garth, I'm telling and you hold a position somewhere of authority, etc. Garth, I know I will be able to call you and say, Garth, listen, give me a little contract, that's just the way it is. Now, how do you though have it not appear so sloppy, and having a conflict of interest develop? By the way, I want to say hello to Michelle Black, who Sherrod is watching. Sherrod is watching from Atlanta.
Go ahead. We all have family. I don't have any lovers, but we all have friends. We have family, and these people, whereas they may not even support us even now, will say to us after the election that they supported us and that they now need our support. It is very natural for people to look out for others who are close to them or who they hold dear to themselves. We need people who, once entering into Parliament, their primary focus is to begin to remove corrupt practices by ensuring that we have a stronger political system or a governance system to avoid such from happening. I do not believe that we will ever be able to remove corruption in its entirety. I am not that naive. But I do believe that if we were to take the powers that be from the representatives and decentralize and put that power into the hands of the citizenry to where we have true local government, what is important at that point is what we call checks and balances. So that if I be one who want to do political favors for my family and for my friends, the balance of that would be the very seat of local government who will say to me as a parliamentary representative, sir, this far and no further. And if you proceeded further, we will be the first to jump all over you and say, you know what, it will not happen, because we also have a responsibility and obligation to the people of our constituency.
Kaynell Ellis says, great perspective. Political cannibalism is what's happening right now. Miranda Innes says, I agree. It has been a culture to look out for family, friends, and lovers as a reward when some are elected to public office. Man, Miranda, when in different ways. You know what I imagine? Like I imagine a lot of people, hello to you, Cyril Miller. Hi to Errol McLaughlin. Hi to Karen Barr. I can't wait until the silly season is over. No, that's what it is. Every minute. In fact, just again, right before today's show, I saw something else come out with somebody else. And then the thing is, what's so funny, you cannot jump on everything and put it out there, because a lot of political mischief is also happening as well. Many of the things you have to fact check and make sure that it's true. And so you're totally right, absolutely right about that. Let's just see who else is making a comment that I can get to. Rafe Emil Ferguson says systems, control, and mechanisms. Karen Barr says, wow, there are 3 different coalition groups, says. There are a lot of coalition groups and individuals. Good day to you, Kizzy Aisha Newton. Hello, Mary Hart. Good afternoon to Thalia Sawyer. Hi, Karen Dorset. Good afternoon. Romeo Kingsley Israel says, in all honesty, both major parties have corruption and both parties are in bed with outsiders. So I say to fix the corruption, get rid of them and bring in a new party. Start with a clean slate. If we don't, we're going to go through the same thing over. And you know what, Romeo, I dare say this, whoever you bring in, you hear me? Listen very carefully. Look close. Let me just come a little closer. No makeup on today. Whoever you bring in, it's going to be the same story, just different players. So another set of people smiling. That's just how it is. You know, that I truly believe that. I mean, it happens everywhere. You know, you're right, but whoever you bring in, go ahead, Garth.
If I may respond to the newness of things, there is a very important role for new faces and new players, especially if you have a new team. We all know, based on George Orwell's novel Animal Farm, that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power corrupts. We know how the new players will eventually become corrupt. But the truth be told is that they will eventually, but in the onset, they are not. You need to have new vision, new ideas, new people, new team players in order to reset the farm. The culture of the farm is corruption. The culture of politics is corruption. But new faces tend to slow down the road of corruption and gives us an opportunity to turn the corrupt practices away and move the country in a more positive direction. And so new players are important. Now, when we had the change in 1967, between 1967 and 1977 were stellar years. When we look at the Free National Movement between 1992 to 2002, those were somewhat stellar years. Everything was not perfect, but the country was moving forward. Right now, we are stalemated. We're going in the wrong direction. The same old players, the same old practices will not change the country for better. If we do want better, we must have new people. And this is why, even for those who are biblically minded, you see a new prophet, you see a new king, you see a new progress. Why? Because new people are involved.
Here is Jamal Russell. Let the Bahamian people vote for the chairman of these boards, etc., and stop allowing the parties to appoint them. You think that's a good direction to head into as well? Because, you know, in the US, for example, let's say the commissioner of police, because I think they are sheriffs and stuff are elected. Well, should our commissioner of police be elected? Should our senators be elected? Should our chairmen of boards be elected?
Well, that is based on credibility, and that's a very personal call. We have all seen that these people too have also become open to corruption or to corrupt practices. I do believe that decentralization is a solution, because see what decentralization does, it allows the constituency itself to choose for. And so whereas you have a local mayor, a local director, someone's going to control your local water system, utility system, all through governance, even your judicial and your parliamentary system is checked, then of course you're going to have a greater representation. Right now, if you're not in the clique, and the clique means that you're not willing to play ball at their level, then of course we're going to continue on the same trends over and over. And so I do believe them partially that you're onto something, but it's going to take a change in the system.
It's going to take beyond now, because I'll tell you this, Garth, I already see, and people, I am not adverse to the third parties or something new, as we all are kind of talking about today, but I've already seen the cliques in the third party movements. The cliques are just as strong or stronger than those that exist now. And so I said it's going to be something very difficult to even try and shake, quite frankly. And so let's be real about that. Garth, let's move forward. The economy is on a good trajectory. In fact, I want to read just an excerpt. Oh my God, if I can just find the article. I thought I sent it to myself. I know I sent it to you all. Here it is right now. Let's just financial turnaround. Bahamas external reserves nearing $3 billion as of July central bank reports. And so here's an excerpt. The country's external reserves grew to $2.6 billion in July, supported by foreign currency inflows through the private sector and further proceeds from the government's external borrowings, according to data released by the central bank. According to the regulator's monthly economic and financial development report for July, external reserves grew by $36.7 million to let me not be somebody. Wait, hold on, what this number is. Yeah, to 2,600,000. Keep going. Listen, you all ain't interrupting me today. Hell no. I did not rehearse this. Don't play with me, all. And I don't make fun of you.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Why the hell did I go there? Garth, question. This is good news, though. We were very nervous about the foreign reserves, about where the country's finances stand, and then this report comes out today from central bank talking about July and the performance of the economy in July and the external reserves. Good news, eh?
Good news over what would normally be our profitable season, which is this particular quarter that's now about to end. That is and should be expected. I'm more concerned about the fall forecast, but I will say this much. During our political activity, the one thing that I have learned, and it's good news for us, yes, but how many of the average people on the street understand what that good news is? You see, if it hasn't touched the pockets, it hasn't touched the lives of the average Bahamian citizen. My concern this time, Ms. Shenique, is that the average person does not care. We're speaking of something on an international level as to how we look through the eyes of the world. But through the eyes of the Bahamian, can they appreciate that? Do they see that? And I often talk to you, and you've given me
I know you always say that about right. No, but you always say, Garth, about the fact is, is it feeling? But Garth, from a macro perspective, it is amazing for this country. That kind of stuff begins to trickle down, because when things had contracted last year and even earlier this year, and everybody was saying doom and gloom and giving just, oh my God, the dollar is going to be devalued. Oh my God, the people feeling it. Well, when you look at that, when you hear the central bank who reports as it is and gives it very black and white, when you hear that, then you know things are on the up and up. You know, things are at least looking good. It's postured to be on a much better footing than what it is now or what it was months ago.
Yes, and like I said, I can appreciate that. The average person who hasn't had a good meal in 2-3 days cannot, and that is my only fear. But Garth,
I will spin it like this, Garth. 1 second, Garth, I will spin it like this. Garth, I will spin it. I'm not sure if there's a delay that Garth can't hear me in real time, guys. If that is the problem, let him hear me so that when I speak, he will hear me. Garth, my thing is this. You said somebody who hasn't had a hot meal or a meal in a few days. Well, then there's hope with information like that, because you see, it can't be bad when it's bad, and then when it turns it around, it's good, it's still bad. I feel as though things will trickle down. I'm always the messenger of hope, always. Now we can get to something in our next segment in a minute. We're talking about the COVID numbers and people being able to vote, etc., and the fact that those COVID numbers are real and what some major businesses are doing right now. And so the thing about it is we'll get to that. But Garth, I just feel overall that this just spells good news. And dear God, we hope and pray, even though the US and the CDC has warned American citizens not to travel to the Bahamas because of the COVID numbers, because of the crime. That right there, though, just that right there is sort of that little rainbow we all kind of want to see. Garth, and I know I'm the eternal optimist. That
is a rainbow.
But we agree.
It is a rainbow.
Wow.
it does give some hope that our country will be around to do business tomorrow. And it does show that we can move in the right direction.
Yes. Miranda Ennis, and get this, Garth, thank you for saying this, Miranda. Miranda says, it is not good enough to have new players. We need the new players or the right players then, with the right mindset, the right everything going on. And so, Garth, by the way, I don't recall seeing your declaration. Because look like this election, we got millionaires all over the place. Miranda, speaking of people who can't be tarnished and people who can't be tempted to go into the to the public purse, Garth, this some millionaires this time, eh?
Yes, we have millionaires that are amongst us. I've not declared to be one of them, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not at the bottom. I'm not at the top. I've never really been focused on wealth as a person because I've always stuck to the fact that there is a life thereafter. But I have done my part as a citizen of this country. I continue to share. And for those people who are millionaires, they do give hope to others that we too can be millionaires if we
too
want
can do
to.
it. Yeah, we too can do it. I don't know why some people making a big deal about a certain person who said they're a millionaire and doing stories about that person. I was like, well, Lord of mercy. But the point is, it's good to see. And I don't need, I'll tell you this, I can tell you right now, Blair Presenti, I don't need you being tropsy around me, please. Thanks very much. Who else making fun of me? Because Lord, Blair called me Miriam. Listen to me, y'all, I could see how Miriam could get tied up. How the dickens I trying to call those numbers? But she, excuse me, she has a speech that she should rehearse. You understand? I just try to read that just now. Listen, y'all don't play with me, please. So who else? Somebody said, come on, Auntie. Oh, that's Blair say, come on, Auntie Shenique. Jamal say, okay, Miriam, y'all really tropsy, son. Y'all is the tropsiest set of people. Listen, when we come back, you guys listen to this. This is very important. If you have been exposed or in quarantine, you cannot go to vote. That's very important. That is what is being discussed now. In fact, it's not even being discussed. It's really advised. And we are going to talk about that when we come back. Stay close. The conversation comes back right after this.
Make this your best summer ever with Flirty Girl's Sexy Summer Slim Down. Lose weight and win up to $3,000 in prizes. Sign up today and enjoy weekly challenges, weight loss coaching, and unlimited group workouts, including fat blasting boot camp, yoga, Pilates, cardio boxing, hardcore abs, dance off the pounds, and more. Enjoy Detox, 1 free laser lipo treatment, discounts on body contouring, facials, and Brazilian wax, plus massage and sauna treatments for just $1 per minute, all summer long. That's right, all summer long. Prizes include 1 year of free body contouring, free fitness programs, and so much more. All participants will be invited to take part in our sexy summer photo shoot to show off their results. So come on, what are you waiting for? Registration ends June 10th. Call 677-1689 or WhatsApp 467-9630 for more information.
Everybody, welcome back to the conversation. It is a Hot Topics Wednesday, and it's wonderful to have you all tuning in. Don't forget, we have a live broadcast tomorrow, and we also have a live interview, one-on-one interview with, anyway, tune in on Friday. That's Friday at 4. Tune in. Obviously politically based, you know, and the topics around politics, etc. So you want to tune in. All of this is to help you make up your mind, or to hear, perhaps ask questions, and to know exactly what it is you need to know, so that when you do go to the voting box, that you can decide exactly how you're going to move forward, what you're going to do, what choice you're going to make. But listen, let's understand one thing though. If you have been exposed, if you are to be in quarantine, That's right. If you are to be in quarantine, you cannot show up to vote on the 16th of September. It's going to be a very unique, as you can see, the rallies are looking a little different now. And that's for good reason. Well, I imagine voting on the 16th is going to look a whole lot different. And for good reason, Garth Rosborough?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, for good reasons. I'm presently not a fan of rallies or gatherings at this time, so please forgive me. This is a very strange time for me. As everyone else, I've never experienced any such global situation. This is going to be a very interesting time. Eyes are watching, but I'm just asking everyone everywhere to just be cautioned and remember the first priority is the priority of life and your preservation. We are the greatest resource of the country called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and continue to remain so.
I agree. Don't try for a second. Listen to me. And I'm going to get to a question because I saw something come in a minute ago. Somebody says, listen, so Portia Newton asks this, how will they stop people who are COVID positive from voting? People will not listen and they don't understand that they are spreading the virus. Listen, Garth, how is that even going to work? Truly, because Bahamians are a bit of unethical. And guys, I say this broadly, okay? But Bahamians can be a bit tricky and they think they're tricking others, but then they're causing issues and or they're getting over on something or someone or the system. But how are you going to police that?
I do not believe it can be properly policed. But what I will say is that this is nothing short of the idea of digitalization, the need for it in our country, the need for us to get to the point where we can vote electronically. Our country, as we now see it, is antiquated, and we need to do better. Our officials who we're going to now present as leaders, these are the things that we need to prepare for. Right now, I can only say that I personally am praying for the safety of all, but those who honestly feel as if they can become a spreader of this COVID-19.
Even if you're vaccinated, because while you are safe, and thank God, the point is, if you've still been exposed as a vaccinated person, do not go to the polls.
Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone who has lost a loved one or friend. I'm sure many of us have, but in their memory, I will say this to everyone: please practice the safety protocols. Ensure that you yourself are not responsible for someone else's life. Voting is extremely important, but the lives of Bahamians is even more important. Please make a great decision for the life and safety of all. Please.
Listen, it's very, very important. Garth, let's talk quickly about the, I guess, the policy positions of Atlantis, of SuperValue. SuperValue is a major employer with several outlets here in New Providence. Atlantis, of course, is the second largest employer in the country. And they're both obviously pushing their employees to be vaccinated. And for those who do not want to, then they are saying by the end, well, Atlantis is saying something different because I imagine that's already in play. But SuperValue is saying by the end of September, you will have to be responsible for your weekly COVID test. Is that unfair?
I don't think it's unfair based on my position in human resources management. People have a right to work and a right not to work. People have a right to choose their employer. People have a right to participate or not participate. Each employer has rules and regulations for the safety of its entire staff. Whatever the culture is of that particular workforce, one would have to adhere to it if you plan on having any participation in its payroll. I think it's unfortunate that you have to be put in that situation, but please keep in mind that the employer is the one that has the money and has the responsibility for its employees. Your responsibility is to you, your household, and your family. You have to make a decision. And if you do not feel comfortable with having to go into your pocket every week to take a test, then my advice to you is attend a place like BTVI or find another type of occupation where you won't have to do so. But it's a very unfortunate situation. But sadly, I cannot say yay or nay. But I do know that the employer at this time has been given the global right to choose who their employees are. I mean, the employees, are, and who's allowed to work around in their environment.
And you can't blame them. I mean, like you said before, they have a whole sort of population of workers to protect. And like in the case of both places, Atlantis and SuperValue, Atlantis for obviously its clients coming in, SuperValue for its clients coming in to shop, and which in the faces of customers coming in to shop. And so they have to make a decision for the greater good.
Yes.
For the greater good. And you know, guys, I tell you again, I always post on the page, you know, where the options for you to make a decision where the vaccines are being distributed or administered, pardon me, and whether it's here in New Providence, on the Family Islands, wherever it is that the announcement comes out, I certainly try to share that so you make a decision. Garth, here is Romeo Israel says, question, why can't we as a people be empowered?
The people fail to be empowered because we continue to look to the leaders to empower us. When I look at the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the resources that we have, even when we speak about the oolite, aragonite, and we look at the ocean in terms of sea life, when we look at all of the medicinal plants that are here, we have not personally taken advantage of that which is on our fingertips. We are still awaiting for the government to give us some type of stimulus package in order to get our minds moving, in order to give us tens of thousands of dollars to get the idea started. We have to now appreciate that what COVID has taught us is that right from your very own living room, from your very own home, consider a business idea and share it with family, friends, and see who really is your family, who really is your friend, who really is your faithful church member or church brother and sister. See, COVID-19 is now the time to show you who is who. And
yeah, but not only, but don't put that pressure on. No, but don't put that pressure on people. The world is out there for you to service. The world is step up and ensure that you have a product that is deliverable and that can be exported wherever. Think the world, think the region. Stop putting that on your neighbor who doggone trying to scratch their head like you.
The truth about it is that the average Bahamian family doesn't have $200 in the bank, is what I'm trying to say to you.
Exactly.
Listen to what I know. This is what I know. This is what I know. And I know this very well. When you look at the journey of the children of Israel, since many people talk about the Bible so much, let me use the Bible. Before they left Egypt, the instruction was given to the people to go and borrow of your neighbor. That is a very crucial point that most people don't understand in the book of Exodus chapter 3. Go and borrow of your neighbor as you prepare for that journey. Your neighbor is very important. The issue with Shenique Miller is this. Many of us have not been kind to our neighbor. We've not been kind to our family, our friends, and our church members, and therefore we have nothing to receive from them. Now, mind you, it may take an act of forgiveness where you have to go and ask for forgiveness and say that you're sorry, but it has to start somewhere. And I do believe that the greatest issue in the Bahamas is that we lack full humility. If we can just humble ourselves at this time and go to those who have the resources to take us to where we need to be. As the children of Israel had to go to their enemy. The Egyptians were their enemy. Go even to your enemy and ask your enemy to borrow of them and make your idea work, because this is the only way we'll be prepared for this journey. Yes, I agree with you. Regionally, Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, Barbados, United States, Costa Rica, Miami, Belize and Panama and Venezuela. These are all within our reach, but it has to start at home.
It does have to start at home, and you're right. Drop the pride. We're getting you. Drop it, and I don't know what silliness we developed over the last few decades that we have become a prideful people. You become prideful with something, but when you need help, listen, scream. But don't just scream and look for somebody else to come to your rescue. That has its role. But scream and start making your own way. For faith without works, your works is dead. Not the next person's, yours. So begin doing something, begin imagining and dreaming again. That's very, very important. Here's Karen Barr, Garth. Karen says, my cousin left her job because her manager started discriminating against her because she is not vaccinated. That is so wrong. Karen, I'll tell you, boy, you could look at that in many ways. I don't know if the manager is wrong. I don't know if the boss is wrong. I really don't, because just think about, Karen, look around you. Look around you. And so the manager or the boss or the owner is looking out not just for your cousin, but also for the entire work population of that business, the entire ecosystem of that business. And so it's that's just sort of where people are at right now. I don't know, or should they put in something like a mandatory weekly testing where the employee is responsible for covering that cost? I just don't know. Hello to you, Paulette Stewart. Good to have you streaming today. Let's just see if I can get to one or two more comments before we move on. Darlene Johnson says, there should be an option for infectious people to vote online. This is a modern day Bahamas. And Darlene, you're right. It just never happened. The country has not moved to that point as yet where we do online voting or some sort of voting. I think now we're just trying to sort of introduce, and it's not really new, but it's new where the elderly cannot be hassled by the long lines on election day, so then early voting. And so it will get there. The country in 48 years will get there, meaning 48 years of independence will certainly get there. Let's just see. Romeo Israel says, let's be real here. The puppets are following instructions from the puppeteers. Let's stop acting as though it's not so. Yes, of course, the financiers of these organizations. Absolutely. Gaynell Ellis says, our people have been spoon-fed. Listen, Gaynell, that's the gospel right there. And that is why when, like seriously, look at the people who are making it, are those who dare to step out and make it happen. And so we've been spoon-fed from the days of the father of the nation, which he played his role and he had a role to play and he did it well. But the spoon feeding and the here's your fish for this week, come back next week for the next fish, that right there sadly still exists today. Largely still exists today, that our people need to move away from, need to walk away from, need to step away from. Yes, there are people who need a hand up, absolutely, but not the handouts. Because a hand up meaning you're being trained to go now and make your own way and do your own thing, but not the handout as people still want to hold on to. Paulette Stewart said, Garth is so right. We as a people lack humility and vision. Blair Presenti says we should have had some sort of contingency plan, especially how COVID. Listen, we should have, but it certainly needed to start before 2020. This contingency plan, Gaynell says the country has not moved to digitalization totally, as it puts a hole in corruption. And so that's the reason, Gaynell, that it is still sort of making its way there. So listen, let's just move on, Garth. Yes, Garth, go ahead. Yes.
I just want to let people on this particular show know my experience for 1 minute, if I may. We see the issues around us. We know what the problems are, and I think, and I know the Bahamian people are very perceptive and very intelligent. This I do know. When one enters into a political or governmental arena, because I have worked for the government as a consultant, and you put yourself out there for the benefit of the people, it is the people who don't quite understand the difficulty that one goes through in even attempting to represent. The amount of money that you spend just because people believe that because you are strong as a person that you have it. So you don't get that support. Your support is basically the people who know what you're going through, who know how difficult it is. And so in short, what I'm saying to you, Ms. Shenique Miller, is that the people that we need in Parliament, they seldom get there because by the time election day comes, you are already worn down. For instance, just to go to the polling station, 14 polling stations, 2 representatives apiece, that's $100 a day for each one of those, that's $2,800. 6 people on standby, that's another $1,200. So you're already at $4,000 for just 1 day of early polling. That's not even the election day. That's another $4,000, that's $8,000. And it goes on where you have people in your community who are, I need light bill, water bill, health situations and concerns. And so when you look at, you mentioned the disclosure of people's finances and their net worth. These are the people who are out there attempting to make the change happen. But the difficulty in making these changes happen takes money. And the money people are those who control the governments of the left and the right over the last 40 years. How do you break that? And the only way you can break that is the Bahamian people would humble themselves and say, you know what? I know Shenique Miller doesn't have it, but she has a heart, she has character, she has the will to make it happen. I'm going to stand with her anyway. I tell you this much, Garth Maynard Roseborough may not be known to many people because Garth Maynard Roseborough has always been in the trenches helping who he may. And so, Shenique, I want to encourage you to continue to be in the trenches fighting. Some days you may feel like I'm not getting where I need to be. But let me say this to you. Every person, every 5, 10, 15, 20 people that listen to your show, it will be a blessing to you that when the day comes, when you are fully blessed, your cup will run over.
Well, thank you, Garth. Wow, I received that blessing. I thank you very, very much. And listen, Garth was talking about candidates being wealthy, or should you look at those who just have a heart? And what do you think about that, audience? What do you think about that? Do you want somebody coming to you and say, listen, you know, I ain't got it, you know, but put me in anyways? What are your thoughts about that as we look at that millionaires list? As we look at the I guess, made history this election season with the most millionaires vying for. And then I think there was somebody with a net worth of $50. Now, Garth, what you're trying to say, I must elect somebody with $50? Garth, you see, Garth, there's sense, and then there's common sense, and then there's real sense. You see, Garth, $50? Garth, we're going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to get to a lot of your comments. And then I am also going to hear Garth's point of view on the fact that Garth is saying, listen, judge me on my work. Look at my heart. Look at the fact that I have a heart for people and I'm willing to help out versus the fact that I may not have 7 zeros behind a number on a bank account or several bank accounts. We're going to take a break and come back with more of the conversation right after this.
Extra inches of unwanted belly fat. Did you know that there are alternatives to surgery to get rid of unwanted fat? Let Therapy Natural Health Spa help you reduce fat without surgery. Therapy Natural Health Spa employs a series of methods in a customized plan to suit your fat loss goals. Target those stubborn and challenging areas on the body with our cavitation body shaper that uses heating lasers to break up and melt fat during each session. Did you emphasize that your lymphatic system and liver work together to help eliminate fat? Let Therapy Natural Health Spa help you get the results you've been waiting for. Call us for a free consultation and let Therapy Natural Health Spa work out a plan for you. Check us out on Instagram or Facebook. Our numbers are 393-1126 or 806-1132.
Maybe it's for the thrill, or the scenery, or maybe you do it for the speed, or maybe it's for the baby. It might just be for the next stop, or even for the beautiful moments. Whatever your reason for driving, we'll be there to keep you going. Atura Auto, servicing your vehicle at a price that keeps your pockets happy. Call us today.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Hot Topics Wednesday. We were to have more than Garth on the Hot Topics panel, but that's okay. Garth is hanging in nicely and doing very well. And and we're very happy to have him here, giving his opinions, his insight, and his perspective on the news of the day. Going in these next few moments, the millionaires list and the candidates, which is of course law each election season, candidates making their declarations in terms of their net worth, etc. Garth, you mentioned about the fact that, listen, it shouldn't matter what someone is worth, or if they ain't worth nothing, is the fact of the heart of a thing. But Garth, let's be real. In fact, here's Portia, right? Portia says, oh gosh, where's the comment? I missed it and it went up. If I can remember, something about the person who's worth $50 may have a heart for the people. No, God, listen to me. Portia, I know you mean well. I know thou meaneth wellest. Garth, are you saying, is Portia saying, and anybody else who agrees with Portia, that just elect people for electing's sake? And let's just be in the mindset of, oh, let's give them a chance. Like if you have not been shown to be prudent and a good steward over what you have to grow it, how you grow in a country? How you grow in a constituency?
I understand exactly what you're saying, but there are two sides to that particular conversation. One that says that I understand I may not be ready now, but I would like to experience, I would like to know what it means to go through to nomination. And even though the result may not be favorable, as I may not be fully prepared, I can utilize this experience for my run in 2027 if we are still here. And so I can appreciate even that side of it. Many Bahamians look at the election result as a show or as entertainment. It's so far from entertaining. It has to do with the well-being of our nation, first of all. But we cannot negate the fact that there are other people who know they're not ready, but are making preparation to be ready in the future. So to differentiate between those people, you can use the financial stick to say who's ready and who's not ready, and you have that right to choose. But that person also has the right to say, I can utilize this system that for experience, and even so, even with my little experience, I may be surprised at some support I get. That's just my take on that.
Okay, well, Garth, okay, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I feel as though if you're coming to me, listen, show me what I can aspire to and reach out for. Don't come to me and talk about, no. I don't see anybody. I'll tell you, our neighbors to the north, which we should not compare ourselves with because they're a different country with a different economy, etc., and various industries. But you see who runs for office there. Not that politicians have the cleanest records, but you see who runs for records there. You see that. I'm sorry, you see who runs for office there.
I have seen people on that list who say they have millions of dollars who I am certain are not ready for parliament. I am positive.
And who are they? Who are they? Let's call names.
No, I can't call names. I don't want any lawsuits.
God, see, you are playing politics right now. This is what we're tired of. You cannot go and call who is not ready for the leadership on that list.
Ma'am, based on what I personally know, I'm not talking about lambasting anyone per se on this particular show. I'm just simply saying there are accounts. Go and research the people. They're there to be researched. They are public figures. If you will notice that there are people on there who are millionaires, who say they're millionaires, who personally I do not feel that they are fit to run based on their anger or their emotion, based on their past business dealings, based on their court rulings. It's all there. It's public knowledge. That's all I'm saying. I'm just giving people a nugget so they can go and do their own investigation and substantiate my point. They will say to me when seeing me again that, you know something, Garth, you were right. That's what I'm saying. Money is not, I don't think money is effective enough to say who makes it and who doesn't make it. If you ask me if Brent Simonet needs to be in Parliament, since you want me to call a name, I'll call a name. I'll say no. I don't want Brent Simonet back in the Parliament. I
think that is being completely biased because a Brent Simonet has a lot. I think of whomever the other names you called, if they are fitting, if they are still viable, they have a right to be there because they're successful. God, I'll tell you this, God. I'll tell you this. If you cannot balance a checkbook, I don't know how a checkbook look. Where the hell you going to try to represent somebody? Sit down and go learn. There's too much foolishness going on. If you are putting your net worth as this, that, and the next, you are cheapening the process.
It is the checkbook that has us in this problem now. It was the checkbook that had us in this problem in Africa.
Guess what? Learn how to perfect using the checkbook, in my opinion. My thing is, if you can't balance the checkbook, go sit down. Go sit down and count the tamarind on the tamarind tree.
That I can agree with, Shenique Miller. But what I cannot agree with is a person who has money is been made eligible or electable just because they have money. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I don't think that they should be discounted just because they have money, because the names that you called, and by the way, guys, do share the live stream. Share the live stream. You guys have been in here. You've been participating. You've not been sharing. Share the live stream. Go ahead, Garth.
I am not discounting them because they have a lot of money. Let me make that abundantly clear. I'm not discounting the fact that they've given service to this country, may have done some good things for this country. What I am discounting is the fact that our country has not progressed to where it could have been based on greed. And that greed happens not only at their level, it has happened even at the lower parliamentary levels. There are question marks to certain people who say they have money, but yet they're not given the service that we have paid them for. That's all I'm simply saying.
I'll tell you this, Karen Barr. I don't know the person. I am not misjudging anybody. This is a conversation I had with another talk show host yesterday, and it's simply based on that. And of course, I'm just asking Garth for his opinion. I feel though, just the same way we don't want a pastor who figured he got saved yesterday coming up and opening a church today. As a politician, I need you to have proven a few things, whether it is your track record in a community, whether it is your track record. Garth, I'm speaking. I'm sure you know there's one host here. Even if the person has been proven to be a wonderful person in an organization where they have grown it and show some kind of track record. You don't have to have 7 figures to convince me, but you certainly have to have some success to show. I'm not discrediting anybody for running for anything. I am saying, though, that we have got to, as a people, raise the standard in every which way. Many of these politicians come up and don't have any track record in a community, don't know anything about nothing going on around them, except one day they wake up and say that they want to run for an office, and that's what it is. My thing is, build yourself this wonderful track record, this wonderful testimonial where people already know you, experience you, touch you, feel you, and you've been impactful in an area that you can go and talk about that. That is what we need. People who are effective and impactful are ready to go up there now and step up. Yes, Garth?
So I am in a community of Bamboo Town. I've been in Bamboo Town for 40 years, from 1979. I've seen Leander Minison there. I've seen Mr. Tennyson Wells in there, who is a favorite amongst the people of Bamboo Town. I've seen the recent representation for the last 10 years, which was one person, PLP and F&M, and nothing has been rendered in terms of appreciation from the people for this person. I've not seen evidence of anything from this particular person. And so when we have people who even say they have education, who say they have a couple of dollars in their pocket, and yet they continue to want to run, and at the dissatisfaction of a constituency say, you know what, Mr. Garth, you need to step up because we need to bring back the days of true representation. I'm just simply saying there's no personal agenda against this person. It's only the fact that the people are saying we deserve better. That's all I'm saying.
But guess what? And show, let the people show you on September 16th, because the people, one thing with us, we will look in your face and lie. The people want to see, I'm sorry, I'm attracted to success. I'm attracted to what it is that you can roll out to me and tell me you have done. I'm attracted to that. Don't come to me selling another story, but all of us could go and fish together. No, sir. Show me the fish you have caught, how you've built on that fish, and tell me how I could walk that road and make that happen, and then lead me. We have set up for 2. We have dumbed down everything in this country and in this region. We have dumbed down every single thing. No more dumbing down. You guys expect more from the people that you elect. Expect more from them. Yes. Expect more. Expect them to be able to speak well. Expect them to say this, not this. Don't play it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, you know it is. Do this and that. We have dumbed down and expected too little. That's why we are getting the riffraff. No, you all know. Yes. And that also comes with a measure of success, however you define that success to be. That also comes with that. And so certainly you all, listen to me, come September 16th. This is now what, 15 days away. Today's the first, guys. Hey, hi, September. So come September 16th, you all listen to me here. Listen, make the right choice. I ain't telling you what that is, because I am not even a political person per se. I do my job, and anybody who knows me personally could tell you, after that, no political conversation happens with me. And so what I'm saying though, in this here setting, let us be wise and smart. This ain't the time to give somebody a chance because you give it. What have you done? What are your plans? What are your thoughts? And then I want to hear how you articulate them. I want to hear how eloquent you are to be able to express that to me. Can you express that to me? Can you speak properly? Can we talk? And not, but you know what I mean? Just, just let's do this. Who are you talking to? I don't speak that way. No, you're not talking to me. Please move. You are disqualified.
I agree.
Garth, I give you an opportunity for a wrap-up comment.
I agree, but here now is the complication in this particular election. Number one, we have lost the voting bloc due to the snap election. Number two, due to the pandemic and social distancing, the effort of change has been somewhat hindered. We also have a situation where the economy itself has been turned upside down. And so in terms of seeking the best representative at this particular time would not be an easy feat. What I would say to the Bahamian people is, look at those people who have represented you and ask the question, are you truly satisfied throughout the 4 years? Then I would say to you, as Shenique simply said, look at the demeanor, look at the experience, look at what the person has to offer coming to the table. If you are not then satisfied, then it means then that our country is in trouble. I do believe that there is such a representative in each constituency. It means that we're now going to have to take more time to discover who they are and what they are about.
The people know. The people know who they are. The people know who they are, God. Thank you very much. Thank you. The people know exactly who they are, and they've made up their mind. Cherie Smith-Munning says, not only that, look at their morals and their beliefs. And look at their morals and their beliefs and what they stand for or what they don't stand for. That's important as well. In this new age and this wonderful left wing and all the rest of it. And you all know the different agendas that are being pushed. Look for people who are upstanding and willing to continue to promote what is right. That's important. What is right? And so it's a combination of things, guys. It's holistically now. It's holistically, man. They say everybody could get up and preach. You know what I mean? They say that. They say, let's just say you preaching. Okay, what you did, what God then brought you through. I'm just singling it to this and painting this picture. What have you experienced? How have you experienced God? How have you see? Because I gonna have to hear your testimony to say this person know what they're talking about. My God, this is amazing. Yes, tell me more. I'm interested. And this is all I'm saying in terms of when you go to the polls in 15 days. When you go to the polls, I'm not talking about the zeros behind somebody's on somebody's bank account, etc. But look at all of it, holistically look at it, at the person or the individual that you say that you want to lead your area, to be able to bring change to your area, to enhance your area, to make things happen in your area. And that's the best you can ask. That is the best you can ask of any voter, okay? And so once again, here's the thing. It's quite different, and I'm sure every country that's had an election since last year to this month and beyond have experienced this. Voting is different now, and so for that reason, I'm sure who knows how the turnout will be, but certainly this though, if you've been exposed, if you are to be in quarantine, do not show up at the polls. Do not, guys. Let's be responsible. Let's be each other's keeper, our brother's keeper. Let's stay safe. Okay. Listen, once again, continue to tune into the page. A lot of exciting things coming for you. And somebody said something about listen, I want you guys to understand this is a business I run. This right here is a business. You guys know about the new business, right? The new social media business. This is what it is. If you followed me for a number of years, you know I've done television, radio, and I've been kicked out. So I do it here for now. I run a business. When you see a certain party, a certain interview, all of this going on, it is because there's been an exchange for my service. You understand? Don't come push up on me. But if I support and who, it's a business. I welcome your support. I welcome your business being on the conversation. Understand? I welcome your political organization coming on the conversation. We don't discriminate. We interview and entertain and post and tell stories for anybody and for an exchange. It's as simple as that. And so let's grow up. Let's do business. You understand? Let's do business. And this is what I do. I aim to be very professional with everybody that come to me and want to engage me and my services. And that is what I do. It is so I'm not playing the politics game, etc. I am simply providing a service. As many of the other mainstream media that you all watch every day, that you see one night, you see this party on, the next night you see the next party. Do you tell them, oh my God, I thought you were supporting so-and-so? Do you say that to them? Don't say it to me. Okay? Now, I will see you all tomorrow. I'll see you all on Friday, and I'll see you all whenever it is that we have wonderful engagements outside of the scheduled shows. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. Everybody have a wonderful day, God bless. See you all tomorrow. See you all on Friday. Have a wonderful afternoon. Garth Rosborough, thank you very much, sir.
I need a little conversation.